didn't just fund a platform. You didn't just support a creator. You stood for something sacred, something real. The idea that truth should never be owned by the politicians, by the elites. So thank you so much. Because we're living in a world where headlines are shaped by propagandists. We're living in a world where narratives are created by politicians' agenda. So staying true and telling you the honest truth isn't just hard anymore. It's becoming radical. And we've never taken a penny from any corporation or political party, because we understand that journalism should never be funded by the elites, should never be funded by politicians. Journalists should only be accountable to the people they serve, not the people that they meant to question. But staying independent comes with a lot of cost. It means no more access, no access to fancy meetings, no access to big donors. So we're choosing integrity, we're choosing morals, and we're choosing to put stories in front. And trust me, that's a cost I'm willing to take. That's why we need you, not just as donors, but as people, as defender of truth, as people that believe that truth isn't a luxury, it's a right. It's a right that every single person in a country deserves to get. And if you've been watching the mainstream media lately, I'm sure you've felt a quiet rage when you see a story being told in a different way, when you see the truth being twisted, when you see suffering being ignored, when you see the powerful few rewrite history and take over narrative and rewrite reality. And now this is the moment that stops. Every single contribution that you make to this channel is a refusal to be manipulated. It's a stand against distortion. And if you believe that journalism should be factual, if you believe that journalism should be unbiased, then this is your time for you to stand with us. Donate right now and build this movement with us. Be the reason why the truth survives in this country. Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, patriot, truth seekers, digital warriors, welcome back to the show again. This is the Baraka Show. Man, I'm not here alone. There's a lot of stories to cover, thankfully. Most of these stories are not good enough, so I needed a man with me to cover these stories with me, as they are terrifying. I hope this guy has a stomach to has energy to stomach them, because they are really horrible stories. And my guest is the one and only. I think you've probably seen him on the TV if you've been watching TV the last few months, the last 1 year. You've probably seen him on reality show. He's out there, he's doing the stuff the way he would do in real life. The camera's just recording him doing it, just being himself and getting himself in trouble, I might say as well. Yeah, more trouble than ever before. Coming out of the show, also getting more trouble. News article everywhere, calling him anti-trans, Islamophobia, and all these sort of things. Maybe even racist, far right. Talk to me about it. And my guest is the one and only Nathan. Nathan, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well, thanks. How are you? That was some introduction.
Thank you so much. I'm doing okay. I'm glad I'm not arrested yet, so I think that's a good sign in the UK.
Yeah, it seems to be that's how we judge success. If you've got an opinion in this country now, we judge it by, well, we've not been arrested yet, so we're fine. It's a good day.
Yeah, that's it. If you haven't been arrested in the UK, especially if you're on camera every day, if you haven't been arrested, you are doing fine. Don't worry about the views. Don't worry about the subscribers. Just worry about not being jailed. Because right now, we can cover the story about a guy, Epping. People protest. The reason why they're protesting is because some guy obviously sexually assaulted young child. People went to protest, and somehow those people are the ones facing more punishment than the person who started the whole disorder.
Exactly.
It's insane.
I just can't get my head around it. I just can't get my head around where their head is at on this, that people are scared. People are worried for their communities. They're worried for their families, their kids. And instead of the government doing what they should do and supporting those people, they are almost picking a fight with them, and it doesn't make sense to me at all. In fact, it really confuses me. Why not try and support British citizens rather than picking a fight with them and trying to make their lives more difficult than it already is? It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, exactly. And the fact that it's not the first time as well is that obviously that is a little bit worrying as well, because it's not like this is the first time they've been doing it. They've done this. No, this is just becoming a new normal. And I think a lot of British people are waking up to it and realizing, hey, no, we don't want this. I mean, what kind of heck is this? Nobody voted for this.
I totally agree, and I totally think that there's a silent majority there. But I've been seeing it a lot recently that I think the silent majority really needs to start becoming more vocal, because bad things are happening out there. We've seen it recently as well, and I think that silence is complicity in a lot of cases. I really believe that, and I understand that why people are scared to speak up in a lot of cases, because I know the kind of vile abuse I get for doing so. So I can understand that there's a bit of fear there, but I think we need to push past that, and everyone needs to speak up. And things like Epping, the protesting, whatever else, because it's a scary time. And
yeah, it's scary because look at the stories that we're gonna cover today. They're not stories that you'd get excited wanting to cover. They're not stories that you're like, ooh, I'm ready to cover today. I'm ready to go. No, we're covering the story. Here's the story. Gary Neville. We're covering that. Something that we should not be doing. So, I mean, I'm in favor of everybody having their own opinion. All right, come out, say whatever you want, do whatever you want. But hey, like, really, like, your own flag, like, you're attacking the British middle class man, the people who are currently working for you right now. Really, Gary? Like, come on, Gary. Like, just okay. So we're covering that.
Yeah.
Go on.
I have no idea what it is with the name Gary and ex-footballers, whether it's Gary Lineker or Gary Neville.
Gary Neville.
Champagne socialism. Like Gary Neville is, he's the classic case, a champagne socialist. And I think that I called him the other day, I tweeted about it, and I called him the people's millionaire, which is exactly what he is. He is so far out of touch with reality that to blame such a horrible thing that happened on, was it white middle-aged Brits?
Yeah, that's right.
Is he for real? Like,
yeah, why?
I just don't know. I didn't realize someone could be so dreadfully out of touch.
So let's let me tell the viewers what we're gonna be doing today. So we're gonna be covering a lot of stories. Probably, like, pray for me, guys. We always have a lot of stories to cover, but we never have the time, and I have to always go. So let's see if me and Nathan have enough time today to cover all these stories. Yeah, let's see if we can get through them. So first one, we're gonna cover the story of a young lady, it's not a lady, it's a little girl, it's a baby, adopted, taken into a shop, allegedly raped, and all the horrible stuff that you can think of. She couldn't make a phone call. She couldn't scream. If she did, you probably even know or hear. So she had to make that dangerous decision to jump off the place, to jump through the window. Dangerous story. We have to cover that. I tried to look everywhere on the mainstream media to try to find, like, more detail, but tell me more detail. Is this guy arrested? Is the police doing anything? What's happening? Because, hey, there's a video of it, so you can't tell my eyes are deceiving me. There's a video of it, all right? So we're going to cover that. We're going to cover about Greta Thunberg. She lands in Sweden with a bigger microphone. Sky News, everybody's out there like, hey, what you got to say? We need to cover that. Of course, we're going to cover Gary Neville slandering every single British white middle-aged man that you guys are the problem. So we need to talk about that. Let's talk about the freedom of speech. I mean, how far do we go with that? Cancel culture. I hear a lot of people saying, hey, we should do something bad to him. We should take his hotel away from him. And we also need to address those people who are becoming so radical with cancel culture. We don't want that, but we also need to cry and scream when something is not right. So we're going to cover those. And we're also going to cover Kemi Badenoch. She's out there too much pressure on her. She's basically in this ship that she inherited, this bad ship that Boris Johnson and every single person had a chance to reckon. Now she's doing everything she can to keep it afloat. We all know it's gonna hit the ice. It's like they're heading towards the ice. They're gonna hit it. And Kemi Badenoch is like spinning the thing, trying to turn it around. We'll see how successful she is. I mean, you could tell the last few days has been really, really difficult for her. So we need to talk about her. And the last two, we're going to talk about the mosque attack, what happened and why it matters. Of course, I don't condone those type of behavior. We need to talk about it. And the last one is, hey, have you noticed there's a little group nobody talks about? There's a tiny little group amongst us. They are always quiet, but somehow they are making noise, more noise than anyone before, any other group in the UK. And that's a Sikh group. Yeah, a Sikh little group. You know, you never talk about them. You never really see them. They're coming out and they're going against Labour Party on this Islamophobia definition. And they're like, hey, no, fuck no. So we're going to have to talk about that. So, but before we do, as you already know, I'm always the only person on the live stream, but today there's two. There's Nathan. I believe Nathan has a story that he needs to tell. He has a life that he needs to tell. Who is he? Like, I mean, why is he here today? What has he been doing? And where is he coming from? So Nathan, you want to take a minute or two just to tell us and the viewers, who are you and why are you so outraged about the stuff going on in the UK? You know, with your TikTok, your X, and all the platforms, or even your Instagram, you're active, you're talking, you're calling for reform and stuff. So, how did we get here? Please tell us more about yourself before you got here, and what has compelled you to keep on going.
Yeah, of course. So originally, I'll take you back. I suppose the starting point of my story was when I was younger. I was King Charles's butler at a Scottish residence. So that's how I started. So
that sounds fancy.
What was that?
That sounds fancy as hell.
It was brilliant. I loved it, and that gives you a bit of an insight into my politics, I suppose, as well. Because I'm Scottish, but I'm a massive unionist. I'm a royalist, and that's where my journey with politics started. Prior to that, I got involved when I was younger. Then, I suppose, fast forward a few years. Just last year, about 12 months ago, I went on to Big Brother. I managed to get onto Big Brother. I was the token Tory, as it were, as they usually like to put on, as they have done this year as well. But fortunately for me, I managed to get to the final. Mm-hmm. I don't know how I quite managed that, but I did. And then since then, supposed to bring it relevant to social media. I didn't use social media 12 months ago, really at all. I had maybe 30 or 40 followers on Instagram. I just didn't post, didn't use it. But now I've been using it a lot. And I see that there is a big push by the left. And I didn't agree with a lot of the things I was seeing. So I've found this kind of lane, I suppose, where I just post whatever I'm thinking. I wouldn't say I'm very polished. I'm not PR trained. I'm not media trained, which I quite like. I just say it as it is and say it as I'm thinking it. And I hope that people resonate with that more, because I would never post something just for the sake of it, or if somebody told me to. I only post what I believe, and
that's good. I
think it's important to do that, because there's such a lack of authenticity out there, I've noticed, especially on the left, but sometimes on the right as well. And I think it's an important thing to do. So yeah,
So talk to me about Big Brother. How was that? Like,
I love Big Brother. I loved it.
You love Big Brother, huh?
I didn't watch it. I didn't watch it prior. I've never really watched it in my life. But I applied to be on it because I thought, well, that's different. It's different between watching it and being on it. And it was fantastic. As I say, I didn't use social media, so I had 6 weeks without my phone, without communication with anyone on the outside whatsoever, and I loved it. I thought it was great. I had a great time. Obviously, when I came out, though, it was different, because people online can be, I think maybe know yourself as well, that people online, they like to put their tuppence worth in, and they can be quite vile at times, some people. So that took a bit of getting used to, but I am quite thick-skinned anyway. So it didn't really trouble me too much that people.
Was that your first appearance on like big media, social media in a sense? Because
That
working
was
as
my
a
launch pad, I suppose, would be the way of putting it. That was my when I went on there. Yeah, it was the first thing I'd ever done like that. So I was a baptism of fire actually when I came out, and then people had been commenting online about me. Some liked me, some didn't. That's life. And they were very clear on why they didn't like me.
why do you think they didn't like you? Like, I mean,
Right wing. It's on ITV, and since ITV's taken it over, especially this year, not so much last year, but especially this year, it's become extremely woke, and really, really woke, and
why are you
pushing
saying
a
it's
certain
been captured
agenda.
by the lefties?
Yeah, it really is, and the audience is you've got a few core audience there that would maybe like a right winger like myself, but the majority are woke lefties, and so. Yeah, I was very unpopular amongst them for obvious reasons. I expressed very right wing views, not very right wing views, but conservative right wing views, and that's not very
What do you
popular in
think?
certain quarters.
Like, what did you ever say that made them not like you?
My VT, so I'll give you an insight into it. So my VT was filmed in a 2-hour period before, and then when I was walking in the house that night, the opening night, they showed a 30-second clip of that 2 hours that they'd put together. So they showed the narrative that they wanted to show ITV. And for me, they showed that I used to be King Charles's butler. I'd said that. And they showed that I said I'm a conservative who strangely admires Nigel Farage.
Oh, yeah.
So that switches some people off very quickly. But then they also said about me when I came out, I didn't realise that. They said, why did he choose to spend his 30-second VT talking about politics, talking about Farage? And I'm like, well, I didn't. I spent 2 hours talking, and that's what they showed you because that was the narrative they wanted to push.
So you made it. The video was 2 hour long, but they only shown
30 seconds for you walking in. So it was filmed maybe 3 weeks before it actually started. And then when you're walking in the house on launch night, they say, right, next person up is Nathan. And then they show a 30-second clip of you. And then in you go. And then people make a judgment from you from there. So,
right, is it this video that I'm looking at? Is it this one right now? Let's take a look. I hope the viewers can hear it as well.
My name's Nathan. I'm 24 and I am a pork salesman. I was Prince Charles's butler. He hosts a lot of different dinners with guests, such as President of Ireland was there, Alan Titchmarsh, and I would look after him and if Camilla was there as well. People's first impression of me, they might think I'm a bit stuck up, slightly in love with myself, which is not all wrong. Politically, definitely on the right side of centre. I strangely admire Nigel Farage. I think I'm different to other people my age. I listen to the radio too, I read an old-fashioned newspaper, and I vote Tory. I think that is different, but good.
That's the one. I've not seen that in a while, so yeah, that was quite nice to see you again.
That's the one. So that whole thing was 2 hours long.
That was. I spent about 2 hours in that room, about maybe 4 weeks before the show started, and they were firing loads of different questions at me, and we spoke about loads of different things, and that was what they clipped into it and showed as to give people their first impression of me. That was people's first impression. So yeah.
Wow. No way. That's insane.
It is what it is. That's what they do. That's what they do.
That's the mainstream media right there. Because I did do a video with ITV. Oh, no, it wasn't ITV. It was Channel 4, I think. It was Channel 4, one of those. It was a big guy, came around with a big camera. It's like, hey, let's get an interview with you. And we did. And then I've not seen that interview since. And maybe because I wasn't crying about how oppressed I am in the UK. Maybe that's why. If I was crying like, hey, I'm a victim, look.
Yeah,
look,
you'd be
I'm
everywhere.
a victim.
Yeah,
that thing will probably air the same night. But it's been 2 weeks now. Hopefully they're editing it. I hope they are doing some good editing with this. It's taking a lot. It's taking long.
Yeah.
But that's what they do. If it doesn't fit the narrative, they won't release it. That's what they do.
That's fair. Yeah, I think that is fair. And if they've got the opportunity to, they'll kind of is manipulate the right word to make it suit a certain narrative as well. Yeah, it's a good point.
Yeah, that's what they do. That's what they do. All right. So that's Nathan. That's you. That's what you've done. You've been out there. You're vocal now. You had the. Obviously, not many of us get the mainstream media warm up. Should I say? I mean, you got to warm up from the mainstream media themselves. You got a taste of it. So let's cover the news then. So you are a right-wing conservative. You're a big super fan of Nigel Farage. Since you are, obviously, we're gonna talk about that as well. Since I'm very critical on both sides, Nigel Farage, Ben Habib, and the Green Party, the Labour Party, the Conservative, basically everybody. I'm always the guy. I'm the guy that just criticize everything and everybody.
That's good. I think that's a good way to be.
Yeah, I don't think there's anybody who can say, hey, Barack votes this. No. I've never told anybody who I support. I just criticize everybody. And of course, I don't just criticize, I also praise the good policy that people bring up. So since you are a Nigel Farage big fan, we're going to have to... I'm going to have to use you as a Nigel Farage spokesperson and question you on a lot of stuff that is done. Hopefully that's fair.
Okay.
Hopefully that's fair.
I'll caveat it by saying that I am a conservative, but I am a Nigel Farage fan. Just so you know.
Oh, God. Okay. All right, perfect. You are a conservative. So even worse. We can talk about Kemi Badenoch's new chocolates and stuff. New way of spelling Britain. So we can talk about that. That's even worse. Now... So let's cover this news then. First story. Very strange story to read to you guys. I'm going to have to read it. It's very... It takes everything to cover this story. So let's go with it. Now, in Liverpool, Brex Road, in Liverpool, a local girl was adopted by a migrant. She was locked up and drugged, unable to talk. In desperation, she... threw herself out the first floor window. Just that story is just reading that itself. It's like, it's so... and then if I say I have a video of it, you're like, oh no, please don't show. No, I'm going to show you. It's really bad. Just reading that. Because all we know is that she was adopted. She was adopted by a migrant. She was drugged, locked up. So that's all we know. We don't know what else these guys did to her. Oh, this guy did to her. Oh, whoever it was. We don't know. It could be even worse. It could be worse than drugs. It could be all the stuff that you can think of. Now, let me play you the video and let's get your reaction. Nathan, it's insane. This is the video. So viewer discretion advised. It is really bad. It's a small little clip. It's like 10 seconds long, but it's important for you to show you that this is taking place in the country. So as you can see right there, you see the video and then you see a picture. Can you see a picture, Nathan?
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah.
That's her. She jumped. And of course, obviously, like she's a child. She jumped through the first floor window. In trying to save herself and get herself away from the monsters. You can tell she's probably hurt really bad.
Yeah. It's just awful. It's just such a sad state of affairs we're in at the moment in this country, and it does almost dishearten me at times, because I know bad things happen all over the world and have always happened, but it seems to be at the moment in Britain that we are really, really going through a bad spell, I think, and it's just firstly to the girl that happened to, it's just awful and just so sickening and sad, and it should never come to that. I think I should say that first, though.
Yeah, one thing that really hits me really hard is that when these stories take place, when an event like this takes place, this should be a national story. This should be a story where it basically like it should be repeated on loop on every single major television in the country.
Yeah.
But when I was preparing this show, when the producer prepared this thing, she was like, hey, she was like, hey, Barack, look, I seen this thing. I seen this yesterday, I think. I was doing something else. I was not able to cover it. So today she put it, as obviously we spoke. She did it. She, the one that got all the stories today. And she was like, hey, let's talk about this. And I was like, all right, could you get me an article about this? Could you find me an article? And she said, hey, I've been looking. There's no way. There's no article. No other mainstream media platform has, no other like something that you would consider as like a news outlet.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody has covered it. I mean, how? There's paramedic there. There's police. They just raided the house. I mean, I'm sure there's somebody, maybe Daily Mail or maybe something. No. That is what's hitting me the most. The fact that events like this will take place and you won't hear it from no mainstream media outlet. Like, what?
Mm.
When I was growing up, something like this would be on TV everywhere. The local community would be shocked.
And I think I think that's the problem. That does it happen to, are things like this happening too often? And it's just becoming we're becoming almost desensitized to it in a way. And a lot of these things that we see regularly happening, awful things that years ago people wouldn't see every day, we are seeing this and almost becoming desensitized in a way, which is probably the most worrying thing, that we don't even stop and think about it anymore. It's just like, oh well, of course that happened today, of course it did. It happens all the time now, doesn't it? So that's really concerning. That actually, it's a good point you make.
Yeah, it's like it's becoming a new normal where it's like, no point. There's no point putting attention on this. That's how it looks. It feels like that's how we are. It's like, oh, it's just a normal thing. Oh, it's raining. Oh, yeah, it rains every day in Britain. Oh, it's okay. That's how it is.
Yeah.
Where a young girl will be adopted violently, I assume, locked up, drugged, unable to talk in so much desperation. So you have to think of what they were doing to her. Probably, I don't know. I can't get into, because obviously it's not being put out there. It's probably not going to be put out there. It's something that we probably will never get to know. In desperation, she had to jump to save her life. Now she's probably, hurt, her legs, head. Don't know if she's alive. And the fact that the mainstream media are not able to report to us is just more terrifying. Yeah, I did say today's stories will be really difficult, Nathan. I hope you got the stomach for it.
I have, but that's a heavy one to start, yeah.
That's a heavy one to start with. But doing this, because I've been doing this for not too long, but long enough to understand, like, like it's not cake. I'm assuming when you were doing like reality show, it's all fun, pink stuff, everything's rainbow, dancing around, music is blasting, you kissing a girl on live TV and stuff. I'm assuming that's what you're good, that's what you're from. But over here at the Baraka show,
I don't know, because I suppose that was that time, 6 weeks, and it was all kind of whatever. But
it was all candies.
Yeah, I've had my eyes open very much. I'd say most in the last 6 months, I've been seriously putting out my opinions out there and whatever else I've been doing. So I've definitely taken less of a mainstream media type reality TV role that some of the people that were in alongside me have done. I've not really gone down that route. I've gone down the route of politics, things I'm interested in, putting my opinions out there and putting what I think is right out there.
Yeah. So this is the Baraka show. Thank you so much for coming. Obviously we still got maybe another 2 hours to go, maybe an hour. We'll see how many stories we can cover. That's one done. I hate to say done, because what's happened to her will never be done.
Yeah,
she's gonna go through that for the rest of her life. Whatever happened to her, we don't know. We'll probably never get to know it. And if we do get to know, we'll never get to know the pain she'll go through. So when I cover these stories, and especially stories like this, in a way to cry out loud and call the public and maybe wake some people up with the information first of all, and also with an emotion cry, because I know that the public is no longer emotional anymore. We're not emotional anymore. I know the world is becoming less emotional to stuff like this. It's like we don't really react to it anymore. We just scroll past it. It's like, oh, it's not like nice. It's not tickling me, so I'm gonna like. That's what we are. So I make these stories and I bring these stories up all the time, not because I have to, not because I want to. I have to, because if I don't, nobody else will. And whoever will do it is probably a small account like myself. So, hey, we might as well do it together, because the big accounts won't even do it because they're scared. They're scared to address it because maybe the advertiser might not like it, or maybe the managers might not let them pass through the story to the producers and stuff. So that's why we do it. So again, I hope you're ready for the next one. All right, next story. We got your friend here. I believe this is a good friend of yours. All right, Greta Thunberg. She lands in Sweden, roaring "Free Palestine," cheers after Israel deportation, and she looks very different. She got a new haircut, I believe. She looks not brand new. She always looks like homeless and stuff. But I don't know how all that amount of money is going. I'm not sure. I'm sure she's a millionaire. We have to say, I'm sure this girl's a millionaire. The amount of support from big institutions she gets, but somehow she always appears to look all this poor and broke and baggy clothes and stuff. Maybe that's her style. But hey, she lands in Sweden roaring "Free Palestine," and she say nobody has the chance to say we never seen this. Nobody has the chance to say we didn't have the chance to stop it. That's what she's saying. That's her message to the world. What do you think about her? What do you think about Greta Thunberg?
Greta is just the most. I think Trump summed it up really well the other day, that she's stopped with the whole climate change stuff because clearly it doesn't pay as well anymore. Climate change has had its day when she was roaring about that. It'll probably make a comeback at some point soon, and she'll be back onto that. But it's more popular, it's more trendy to be on the Free Palestine side at the moment, and that's clearly who's paying her wages. She is just the biggest troublemaker, and I cannot fathom how we have decided as a world actually to give her as much attention as she gets, because I don't think she merits it. I don't think she's clearly a grifter. She is. That's what she is. She grifts, and she does it quite successfully.
Well, you think Greta Thunberg is a grifter?
Oh yeah, I think she's a grifter. Absolutely. She jumps from cause to cause. I'll wait to see what our next cause will be. Absolutely.
Yeah, of course. She jumps from all these humanitarian causes, like especially when it comes to Gaza and stuff. Then she would jump into something like I've never seen her jump into Sudan, because that's.
I was just about to say, what about Sudan? She's not there. She's not getting a flotilla there. So.
But she jumps on all these, maybe climate change type. That was a famous one. That's what she was on, gluing herself to the floor and all these sort of thing. Now that obviously Gaza is the most famous one, the most attracted one. She's leading the front. She's leading the march, and I think she's being very successful for it. But if you say she's a grifter, I mean, she got in a boat, whatever that is, the ferry, whatever you want to call it. A ship, however way you want to describe what it was, and she's made the journey twice, and knowing well that she could have died. I think a grifter will do such a thing.
I don't think Greta will ever cross her mind that she could have died, because all that was a publicity stunt. They were never going to make it. Israel were never going to allow them in, and they knew that before they set off twice. So it was all just a publicity stunt. They went with a token, and in fact, I don't even think it was that, a token amount of aid in the flotilla. So it was all just a massive publicity stunt, and people say, "Oh, Israel have stopped it." Well, yeah, of course they have. They're not going to allow them in. They've told them that, quite, but they ain't going to hurt them. They're going to send them back, because the thing is, that is exactly what Greta and her crew would want: is them to be treated in a way that they could come back and tell everyone how bad Israel were, which they aren't. But I think Israel handled themselves perfectly. Just turn them round, send them home, and let them be someone else's problem.
Yeah, now she's in Sweden. Now watch this. Here's her. After arriving in Sweden, she has a message for you and everybody else who's watching. For the world, I guess. Here's her.
No one has the privilege to say we are not aware of what is happening. No one in the future will be able to say we did not know.
The video carries on. Hold on. She's gonna talk again.
Let me be very clear. There is a genocide going on in front of our very eyes. A live-streamed genocide on all of our phones. Under international law, states have a legal obligation to act to prevent and to stop a genocide from happening. That means ending complicity, applying real pressure, and ending arms transfers. Our international systems are betraying Palestinians. They are not even able to prevent the worst war crimes from happening. And I will never, ever comprehend how humans can be so evil that you would deliberately starve millions of people living trapped under an illegal siege as a continuation of decades and decades of suffocating oppression, apartheid, and occupation.
That's her there. That's her message. So do you think Israel's committing a genocide? Because that's the new what you call it? That's what has been declared by almost all these institutions that have gained respect along the years since 2000. Since 1940s when they were created. All these institutions.
I totally disagree, completely. I think it's a war, and I've said that consistently. I think the thing is here, and Greta said about it being live streamed. She called it a live stream genocide. It's not. It is live streamed to an extent, but the thing is, if you look at any war throughout history, World War II, World War One, whatever, if they had the technology we had now, then you would be seeing similar scenes. World War II, Britain killed innocent Germans. Not every German was a Nazi. Britain bombed Germany. Britain killed innocent Germans, people who were not involved, and vice versa. This is what is happening at the moment with Israel and Hamas, and people are treating it, because they are seeing it happen in front of them. They're saying, "Well, that's just awful." Yeah, of course it is. Any loss of life is awful. I'm not gonna say otherwise. However, it is a consequence of war, and I'm not saying that war's a good thing, and that's what we should strive to achieve. But it is a consequence, and it has always been a consequence of war, that innocent people, unfortunately, do lose their lives. But that doesn't mean that you can just start calling it a genocide. And the thing is, as well, Hamas were the instigators of this war. Hamas, 2 years ago, yesterday actually, October 7th, 2023, killed 1,200 innocent Israelis, kidnapped many more. There's still 48 hostages in Gaza at the moment. And I struggle to get my head around how people can then say, "Oh, well, Israel what? Israel should have just said, "Oh, no worries, then just carry on as you are," if that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, I question everything.
Mhm.
I like to, especially when people are hurt, because people died on both sides. October
right.
7th, yesterday was the anniversary. Of course, a moment of silence, a moment of grief, a moment of remembering those who have gone innocently, being butchered for no reason. They were all innocent, just partying, doing their stuff, just like a regular day. And then the horror that were put against them, and all the stuff that we're seeing, and it was live streamed as well. We've seen babies being butchered, mothers being shot, dads being shot. It was insane. October 7th, like that was like crazy. Like wow, like you're filming yourself doing this. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. There's one thing doing it, then the other thing doing it while recording yourself doing it. It's like, whoa, that's like beyond evil, bro. Like what the heck?
Exactly,
So, yeah.
and that's why I have a lot of understanding for Benjamin Netanyahu and the Israeli government, because I think about it in my context, and how I try to explain it is that Scotland want, and well, not all of Scotland, but some of Scotland want independence, and if the nationalists did what Hamas did to England and crossed the border down by Hadrian's Wall, killed 1,200 innocent English, kidnapped many more, brought them back to Scotland. Well, if I was English, I would be encouraging my government to do everything necessary to hold every single person who was responsible for that to account. And that is what Israel are doing. They are saying, well, we're not going to allow that. We're not going to allow any of them to escape justice. And I totally agree, because I would want the same thing. And then, as well as that, if after Scotland in this case did that, if Keir Starmer were to give Scotland independence after doing that, you'd be outraged. You'd say, oh, so that's all you need to do. And that's exactly what they've done by recognising the Palestinian state after Hamas's attack on October 7th. And I find it horrifying. But
Yeah, but then it's just because, because I don't, the Hamas, I think Israel has killed a lot of Hamas leadership. They've killed almost, we've seen, like, I think last year was the year where they were going bam, bam, bam with the pages and all these things. Hezbollah got it. Everybody got it. Now that they've shown how powerful they are, they've shown how creative they can be into killing and taking out the masterminds. I just see how long they need to go on for, because it's gone for too long. I think it's gone for too long. I think the war is gone for too long.
yeah,
I understand where Israel's at in, like, hey, we want to stop it. We want to make sure it doesn't happen again. But how long are you going to go on for? Are you going because Benjamin Netanyahu wants to stay in for long? What is it for? Like,
well,
all these questions
Hamas are
need
still
to be
holding
asked.
48 hostages as well. That's the thing. If Hamas just released the 48 hostages, then you've got a different ballgame.
Yeah, that's right. Of course, I get it. That the hostages are obviously the reason why the war is still kind of going on. But I also feel like Israel has a lot of power to go in. They're stronger. They got a lot of backing of big countries that can not easily, but make it happen and end the war. But the idea of, like, keeping the Gazans, keeping the thing going and back and forth, it just makes it so long. And maybe that's why a lot of people are waking up to it and start questioning Israel's actual, what do you call it, intentions.
Okay.
At first, after, like, when I seen the videos, when I seen the stuff, bro, I remember where I was. I remember I was with a girl, waking up. I'm seeing videos. I'm like, hey, are you seeing this shit? Like, Like real, like these are videos that's coming out like seconds ago, 2 minutes ago, 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, this is happening right now, and I'm showing the girl. I'm like, hey, are you seeing this? And I just felt, the only thing I felt was like rage, anger. Like, hey, we gotta like they need to be fucking done after this. Israel needs to go on, all out. But I didn't know they were gonna go all out for 2 years long. I mean, I thought it was gonna be like bam, like 3 months hard work, bam, 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 done, destroy everybody. Then it's like, okay, cool. You know?
Yeah.
That's what I thought, but I didn't think I didn't think it was gonna be like, you know, back and forth, AIDS. Now we got all these institutions that are against Israel, and we got terror attack happening in Manchester. I mean, why?
Exactly.
We don't want this.
That's going to be the consequence.
I don't want
say that on that. That is going to be that. I think the West very much needs to watch itself here.
Yeah. So
Because
we need Israel
if
to stop
Israel
it now.
fails, we all fail. If Israel fails in its mission, we all will face the consequences of that. And
Yeah, I know if Israel doesn't do it right, we're all gonna feel the pain. But you also have to know, if Israel carries on for too long, all these lefties, all these guys are always angry and they don't know how to reason. And you know, the Islamists, they don't know how to reason. They will get too angry, and next minute we'll get terror attacks. And of course, I'm not blaming that terror attack on Israel, but I'm saying, hey, why don't we just try end all violence that's going on right now? So then we don't have to wake up to something bad in the UK. Hey, I don't want nothing like October 7th in Manchester again, because we've seen it a little bit. Because if that guy was able to flourish, if that guy was able to implement all the plan that he had that morning, you know, not just 2 people would have been killed. He was going to kill a lot more people.
I think the thing is, we've got to recognise, and I think this is the thing that a lot of politicians are scared to have the conversation around, that globalised the Intifada, like all this that they shout, they are the Free Palestine chant. They are glorifying death to Jews. That is the mission. That is the mission there, from Hamas, from Hezbollah, and you cannot reason with these people. And
that's right.
They don't understand that these chants, these protests, this Free Palestine, they are making it acceptable, and they are almost complicit in the terrible things that are happening. And I think we need to be very careful, because even if Israel were to stop, there would still be these people who would do these awful things, and that's the thing. I think that
the longer it goes, the more problem
conversation
we'll see in the UK. That's why I see. I think if this goes, if the war goes on for the next, I say if it doesn't end this year, I think we're gonna see a lot more attacks in the UK. I don't want that happening. I don't want no Islamists again coming in Manchester, my town, or whatever town that would be in the UK. I don't want to see that. Hey, fuck no.
Israel are one of our biggest partners as well, intelligence-wise. They stop countless, they foil countless terror attacks. They work really closely with the UK, with the US, and I think to alienate them, like what Keir Starmer's trying his very best to do, I think it's just senseless, personally.
Yeah, and obviously recognition of a Palestine. Okay, that's another one. Shit, that's another problem to get with. How's that gonna work? You know, who's gonna be in charge?
Nobody can point to it on a map. Nobody can point out where its borders are, where it actually is. It's all moral virtue signalling, grandstanding from Starmer, from Carney, from the Australian guy. It's just nonsense, because nobody can actually point, well, this is where its borders are going to be, this is where it is, but we're going to recognise it as a state. Well,
yeah,
nonsense.
I mean, when it comes to doing borders, there's one country that's really good at it. We can always let Britain to draw the line. Britain's always been good at drawing lines.
We're good. Yeah, we are quite good at that,
Yeah,
actually. Yeah,
yeah.
but we're not very good at protecting our borders anymore. But we did used to be good at drawing lines. Yeah.
Yeah, Britain was always drawing lines everywhere. They're like, all right, this is India. All right, let's draw the line here. Make it Pakistan and India. All right, let's go here. Where is this? Oh, yeah, draw a line here. Yeah, Britain's really good at drawing a line. We can always send Britain to go draw a line and establish where's Palestine and where's Israel. We can get another line there.
I personally think we should do that. I think the world flourished when Britain ruled 25%, 35% of the world. I really think we should get back to it, but not with Starmer in charge, with somebody else more competent.
What? Wait. Hold on. You're in favor of the British Empire to come back and rule?
Absolutely.
And
British
take
Empire
over,
brought
over
a
countries
lot more
as
good
well?
to the world than it did bad.
No, wait, are you in favor of them having India, all these countries that they had under their rule again?
I
Really?
wouldn't say no. I wouldn't say no. I think we did. I think we do a good job. I think we are the. We're good at it. There was a lot of listen. There was a lot of bad points, right, to the empire. There was a lot of bad points to every empire. But I found myself lately, actually, in the last month or so, when I've been having conversations like this about the British Empire, and everybody always focuses on the negative points, of which there are a few. I can see there are, of course there are, but throughout history, every empire had its flaws.
Yeah,
but
I
in terms
agree
of
with that.
the positives we brought, I see far outweigh the negative in most cases.
No. Of course, we can obviously we can always debate, back and forth, and who was better, and what sort of thing were good things that Britain brought and the worst and all this thing. But hey, you're in favor of having all the country under Britain again? That is I've never heard of that, but that is strange. The fact that you think so.
We need to sort ourselves out first, and then we can focus on maybe getting back to the.
I think Britain was good at taking stuff. And of course, making sure everything is good in other countries, but they were good at taking. Like I'm the proest black British guy you will see. I'm pro Britain, super pro Britain. But I have to be honest, looking at the pictures, looking at the research, and looking what they brought into the other countries, and looking what they talk, it's like, no, they talk a lot. Like one example is India. Like they went to India when India had the GDP of India was 23 of the whole world. India contributed 23%. By the time the UK left, it was only 3%. So where did it go? And obviously UK's GDP grew. Like, okay, all you have to do is do the maths. Nobody has ever had that much GDP till today. So
we built railways in India, but obviously that was then as a consequence to take product out.
Yeah, you gotta take stuff.
But we didn't have railways. If that's
of course. I'm not saying you didn't bring anything. Obviously, you brought a lot of people say the train line, but obviously, the train line would have come anyway. But yeah, you guys brought the train line. You brought all these, some form of medicine, some form, education, language, good language, English, all these stuff. You impoverished the people. You made the people like realize, hey, there's a far way of doing more stuff. You kind of like lift them up from the tribal mind. I would say that, and there's so many more. Obviously, we can always do a big debate on it. But when it comes to take, I think you got British, they talk a lot. And I'm saying that as somebody who would defend Britain any day, any time. But of course, you have to also be real to the facts. And especially if you see where they are and see the wrong, you got to say it. But hey, being in favor of the British Empire today, in a sense, okay, it makes sense, but not in a way where it's like, I get it. Maybe you are in favor of like British Empire to like be as brutal and be a defiance for from the outsiders and protecting his people and caring about his own. Makes sense. I think that will be okay because obviously.
Yeah, obviously, I'm not saying bring back like the good old days of like all the bad things we did. Like, just to clarify, like I'm an evolved empire. Is what my thoughts are.
More an empire that favor its own people, its citizens, and its border, and its just
there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, exactly.
The growth of his country. Yeah, I think that is okay. Yeah, that's fine. But yeah, that's insane. But it would be cool to actually host that. To be fair, it would be
It's
actually a
good
cool
debate.
idea.
It's a really good debate to have. Yeah.
Because we'll learn a lot, and we'll also we'll unlearn some other stuff. But next one, Gary Neville. Oh God, let's do Gary Neville real quick, man. I don't think we're gonna cover all these stories, bro. We are on 2 stories, and the live stream has been going for an hour, so it's like,
Yeah.
hey, I told you sometimes we get passionate and we cover a story for like 40 minutes long. But Gary Neville, I'm sure you've seen a video. He's out there. He's made these comments, taking down the British flag, telling his people to take down the British flag, his employees to take down the British flag, blaming the attack, blaming the violence in the country on white middle-aged men. I mean, how do you make that? Like, what's your opinion on that? Because that's insane.
I just think Gary Neville, I respect him. So I'm a big fan of football, and I listen to Gary Neville when he talks about football, and he's brilliant to listen to. I really enjoy listening to him. When he somehow gets involved in politics, I don't know if he's being paid by the government or paid by Labour. I'd guess he probably is, because the stuff he spouts is very pro-Labour. He sat down with Starmer last year or the year before. But my goodness, I have never seen someone so out of touch as Gary Neville, and his ridiculous statement that he made. I don't know what possessed him. I really don't. To blame an attack on a synagogue, on Jews, that was conducted by an Islamist. There's no way around that. To shy away from that and try and deflect the blame onto white middle-aged British men, like, I just don't even. I'm speechless, almost speechless by that.
Yeah.
How he can justify it.
It makes no sense. It's like, even if you, because you have to also add that this is not a guy who's living in like a place in the UK where there's no Wi-Fi. No, this is guy. Yeah, this is guy is fully informed in every single day situation. He knows what's going on in the country. He works for Sky News, for God's sake. He gets paid millions just for him to report on football and latest news on sports. I'm sure he also gets to know the latest stuff in politics and the state of the country. So he knows who did it. A picture of how the person looks like and the situation in the country. But to have the audacity to come out there and put your phone out and record yourself blaming white middle-aged men, like, what? It's like me saying that October 7th was done by black people. That's like, what?
Yeah.
How? How do you get that far wrong?
It's incredible. One thing I will say, I've noticed a lot of people on the right calling for him to be cancelled by Sky Sports, to be sacked, this, that, and the next thing. I don't agree with that, because I think we need to watch, especially on the right, we need to watch that we don't start tripping ourselves up and playing the left's games in terms of cancel culture. Because if you want free speech, well, free speech is absolute. I totally disagree with what Gary Neville said. I think he was completely wrong for what he said, but I do not think he should be cancelled because he's got the right to say it. Even though he's being ridiculously stupid and he's wrong, he's still got the right to say it. And we really need to be careful, I think, because I think we are verging into the territory on the right, like Jimmy Kimmel in America, who was cancelled. He brought back, but they were calling for him to be cancelled. Again, I didn't agree with what he said, but he shouldn't lose his job. So we need to. I don't know what your thoughts are on that, but in terms of level, maybe you think he should be.
I think. Because here's the problem. You know, when the right call for stuff, especially when it comes to controlling people, when the people on the right, when they call for stuff to like, hey, let's control this, it backfires always on the right, on the people on the right. Because when the left take hold of that control, they go heavy on it. They go bad. Because when we say, hey, cancel culture on the right, it's, people are angry temporarily, but after that, it's like, okay, cool, it's fine. People get back to work, people get back to doing stuff.
Exactly.
But the left are like, it's a full-on campaign. You'll see on every single left-leaning television. You'll see on every single left-leaning, politicians, activists, celebrity. Everybody will echo the same thing to end somebody's career.
They want my head at times. A lot of them on the left want my head, especially in the last week or so. It's my head they're after on the left.
Exactly, bro. They go above and beyond. So if the right are the one calling for censorship or canceling somebody, that will backfire, because when the left get the chance, they're not gonna just call for canceling. They're gonna say, hey, make sure he's homeless afterwards, or make sure his head. Man, we're on YouTube here, but they're gonna go back. They're gonna go all the way. So. For the safety, just for your safe and everybody else's safe, it's better not to ask for cancel. To cancel the guy. We might disagree, we might agree, but he has the right to say what he wants. He's a millionaire. He's able to protect himself. He's able to say what he wants. So let him say it. But attacking him and wanting him to be fired isn't that the whole thing that we've been fighting for? Like, we've been fighting against that.
Exactly.
The people on the right
we can't be hypocrites. We've got to rise above that. We've got to let them say what they want, because the thing is, why cancel Gary Neville? Gary Neville, let him spout his nonsense. We can just see what an idiot he is when it comes to anything about reality, anything apart from football, really. It's quite refreshing actually to see people like that, because you think, all right, okay, whatever people say about me, at least I'm not like that. So, it's maybe good as a balance to get people like Gary Neville who are so out of touch with reality, and then you can go, well, okay, I'm definitely right actually, because he's an idiot.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it's better, because you only get to know how stupid somebody really is if you let them talk. So
exactly.
Just let him talk, and then the network will feel the pain, because then that's when they're gonna have to react. When nobody's watching Sky News, or when people are responding bad to Sky News, and people are cancelling their stuff and not engaging with Sky News because of him, then Sky News will feel the pain. Then they might have to release him or let him go.
Yeah,
that's how you fight this. You don't call for that person to be cancelled, but you do the thing that leads for that person, for the company to make the decision to make a good decision, where it's like, nah, it's not, it's not right for the company to keep.
No, I know what you're saying. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I totally get it. Totally understand. I totally understand what you're saying, and I think that's it. That just let people. That's what I always do as well. I think sometimes less is more in terms of what you say, especially in a conversation with someone, with a leftist or whatever. In my case, because they end up tripping themselves up, and the mask always slips. Is what I've noticed.
Yeah.
The mask always slips with them.
They get too radical and they say the truth, and it doesn't look really well on their side.
Yeah.
Man, that's Gary Neville, bro. It's Gary Neville. I mean, you should just stick to football. You should just stick to football. He's good at it. I like his analysts. I like the way he does his stuff. But hey, you don't want people to not tune in. You don't want to make football bad for other people, because when you're out there talking about it, because when people hate you, they're gonna hate you on all spectrum.
And I'll be interested to see the reaction he gets the next time at the weekend. I don't know where he is. I don't know what football he's covering, but I'll be interested to see him walk onto the gantry.
Exactly. So he just, I think, of course, I want him to say what he wants, but hey, you're better at football. Come on.
Yeah, and he's up in his. The thing is as well, he's up in his. To quote Roy Keane, I think it was prawn and cucumber sandwich brigade. Roy Keane calls them. That's where Gary Neville sits when he goes to the football. The majority of football still is a working class sport. Well, I know they're trying to push it away from it by Premier League, especially in terms of prices and stuff. But it's a working class sport, and I think to alienate that group of people is a really bad move.
Yeah, it's a stupid move. But if you go to football, you see white middle-aged men. It's full of that.
Right. That's right.
It's full of that. So if that's what you're hating, if that's what you don't want, then hey, be ready to have empty seats.
exactly.
Be ready to
Paid
have
his wages.
people.
They paid his wages for about 30 years. They paid his wages when he was a footballer with Man United, and they're paying his wages now. So I think he should just, I think he should just shut up and be grateful maybe at times.
That's what people do. They forget where they come from. They forget who's paying the bills. Really, they forgot who. I know Gary never made the right decision in his life. He's done all the right stuff, and he's climbed through the ladder, and he's been there for long, and he's got the contracts and all these sort of things. Yeah, but then you have to know who makes that possible. Who has created the industry for you to thrive and make the decision that you've made in your life? It's the white middle-aged men, the ones who take football so serious than their own family. The ones who will not turn up to their kid's birthday because City's playing. That's who pays your bills. That's who makes you who you are. So if you want to sit there and call them out, man, when they start holding their purse, when they start deciding not to pay for the game, when they start deciding to cancel the membership, you're going to feel the pain. You're going to feel the pain in Salford.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, he's gonna feel the pain in Salford. He has the Salford FC, which is a cool team. I wanted to play for them, to be fair, when I was playing football. Not far.
Right, that's Salford, yeah, and he's got the hotel outside Old Trafford as well, hasn't he?
Yeah, Hotel Old Trafford, cool hotel as well. Been there, nice hotel, good view to Old Trafford, really beautiful, inside and out. But you need the white middle-aged man to pay to come in, to buy the food and eat the thing and dance on that floor. Good floor, by the way. I actually didn't know he owned them till I did some research later on. I was like, wow, no way. Cool hotel. It was a nice hotel. But hey, all that is done because the white middle-aged men, there's a lot of them than any other group in this country. So hey, if you're going to attack them, just be ready to lose 90% of your business. Or maybe 99, I should say. Maybe 99. But let's cover last story here, man. Last story. My head is already hurting. Too much light. This is like my 4th hour on the broadcast today. I had one other guy on before you.
Right, okay. Yeah, let's make this the last one. Go for it.
So, okay, we got 2. Actually, we got 2 left, but obviously we can decide which one we want to cover. And the other one, I'll just make a video for it. We got mosque attack. A mosque that was attacked. Oh, we got Sikh group threaten legal action against Labour over Islamophobia definition. What you want to do on the cover, bro?
I think the Sikh would be interesting because, as you said earlier, that's not a group of people that are often spoken about. Actually, they just seem like quite a quiet, nothing really in the news about Sikh. So I think that sounds quite interesting to me.
Yeah, Sikh. So a Sikh group threatened legal action over Islamophobia definition. The network of Sikh organizations says the government-backed definition risks curbing freedom of religion and discrimination against other faith group. That's what a network of Sikh organizations says. So they are going back and forth with Labour to end this thing, to stop playing around and trying to create this Islamophobia definition. And Sikh group, I've never heard of these guys, but they do exist. A network of Sikh organization. It's a network of, obviously, kind of explains what it is. It's a network of Sikh organization, all right? So the Sikhs, maybe the Sikh in Birmingham, maybe the Sikhs in Leeds, Manchester, whatever they are, it's an organization for Sikhs, and they are coming out together. They're coming together to go against the Labour Party definition. Because if the definition really do go forward and they come out with definition, then hey, what if other religious group want definitions as well? Like, hey, this is our definition. This is like Hinduphobia. This is Christianophobia, or maybe whatever it could be. Maybe this Sikhphobia, however way you want to call it. Then that will risk freedom of speech and freedom of religion as well. You won't be able to criticize anybody. And especially because it's a religion, it's a it's very blurred. The line is super blurred because you never know what you're stepping on. You never know what you're saying that might offend somebody. As we've seen the recent years, where almost every single thing that you say to a Muslim is like, oh shit, that could be offensive. You never know what's offensive.
That's
But
a
what
real
do you think
problem.
about the Sikhs people fighting this?
I think they're absolutely. I think good on them, because I think it is a worrying, terrifyingly worrying trend. Our inability in this country to have conversations about the dangers of Islam at times, and I think that's a fair way of putting it. That Islam, in a lot of cases, it's fair game to be criticised and should be criticised. I know that, of course, it's not all, but there are interpretations of it that are dangerous and that are causing problems. And I think that the only religion that has a problem with being criticised, correct me if I'm wrong, but is Islam. Every other religion is comfortable with being criticised to an extent, but not Islam. We're not allowed to do that. And anything you do say is Islamophobia. But I don't believe in Islam. I don't believe in Islamophobia. I don't believe in this word that they throw around. I think it is fair to criticise Islam at times. And in fact, I'll go further than that, and I'll say that actually, I think it's common sense.
Yeah, it's common sense to question everything. But with Islam, you can't really question it, because if you do question it, somehow that is Islamophobia. Somehow that is offensive. You can't ask the question. You can't be defiant against that teaching. You can't do none of that, because you are stepping in the great line. Oh, where's the line? There's no line. So
Shouldn't be a line. Should be a line. You should be allowed to criticise. You should be allowed to say, no, I don't agree with this. I think this is wrong. And the guy, a Turkish guy outside the embassy who burned the Quran, and he was attacked with a knife, and the guy got away with it that attacked him. And you think, okay, it's not a lovely thing to be doing, going outside an embassy and doing that. It's not a great idea. But if you want to, you should be allowed to, because you're not doing anything. You're not doing anything, not hurting anyone. So yeah, I think we're lost, and I think we're going down a very dark road in terms of Islamophobia. And it's good on the Sikh group for doing something about it.
Yeah, because the reason why this thing came around is because Angela Rayner wanted to keep her seat in Manchester, because obviously she knows who's going to take over if she doesn't stay strong with the Islamists, with Muslims, because they're the one that voted with her. She promised them about Gaza, and obviously they're really pissed about what's going on there. Nothing has been done for them in their eyes. And then you see Jess Phillip, her seat is gone. She knows if there was a general election right now, she's gone. Yeah, she's fully gone. So all these people, they know their seats are like most of these guys
relying on a certain group voting for them.
Yeah,
I think it's fair to say. Yeah.
So they need Muslim voting. They need a big block from the Muslim to support them. But they're also seeing the Green Party, which is emerging really fast, and they got new faces, new guys who are like, ooh, fancy new people, right? And they're taking over as well. The Muslims are more relying on that side. We got Muffin Ali, from Leeds. He's obviously making noise on that side, and the Muslims love it, so they want to look that side. So Labour's like, hey, no, don't look that side. We're gonna go extra mile. Look, we're gonna get definition for you. And then they're like, all right, show it. And obviously, Angela Rayner was the person in charge for that, but now she's lost that, because obviously she wasn't a working class woman after all. So now, obviously, there's new reports that's coming out saying that Angela Rayner might make it back. She might be brought back in, but we don't know what kind of shuffle that they might have to do. But they are basically putting this on pause, Islamophobia them definition on pause. But the fact that there's a group, a charity, NSO, the Network of Sikh Organization, is a charity which has emerged now to fight these guys, to fight this, I think that's a good sign because it's not just coming from Christians now. It's not just coming from people on the, the white guys or, the white people, the black people. It's not just coming from non-Muslims. It's actually coming from Sikhs. Well, obviously Sikhs are non-Muslims too, but it's actually coming from a different religion apart from Christians. So that's a good take. It's a massive. It seems like the whole multiple faiths are against it, and it's only fair. Because if they do it for them, they're going to do it for everybody else.
Yeah, exactly. And that's it. And I think it's one of the few as well that I have seen overall, overwhelming majority are unwilling to self-criticize. Like, obviously, I think that the kind of not direct comparison, but a fair comparison is the Catholic Church and what happened with the Catholic Church. I'm not going to get to that, but we know that there were severe, major problems in the Catholic Church and their conduct. Catholics overwhelmingly condemned that and came out and condemned those actions. There are very few, and I will say there are some, but the overwhelming majority do not self-criticize within Islam. And that worries me more as well, because if you're unwilling to take responsibility for other actions and what causes those actions, then there ain't nothing going to change then, is there?
Yeah, exactly, because they stay the same. Idea evolves, things change, people grow out into stuff, people grow up into outgrow the environment. But that's not with Islam. It's like, obviously, if we keep on going, we could be branded as Islamophobia here, bro. So we're gonna have to move to the next stuff. So that's how sensitive this story really is, and the fact that the government has been meddling with it, playing with it, and dancing with them, and trying and promising them the definition, is just so sickening. Because that just destroys freedom of speech. Right. It destroys it because we can't speak to them. We can't express everything that we feel and see freely because if we do, you're gonna say or step on something that press the button and next minute you're arrested. Like the guy, he got stabbed. So a guy comes and stabs someone, he doesn't go to jail.
No.
Maybe because he was doing it for a good cause. I guess in the UK you can stab people for a good cause.
Exactly, it's just madness.
It's insane.
But hutty words would get you locked up, though.
Yeah. You have to. If you do protest, you're gonna get in jail, man. You're gonna go to jail for longer than the perpetrator. Oh man, that's a story we was gonna cover as well, but we don't have enough time. But just a quick one for the people who are tuning in. Hey, Epping, a guy went out there. Well, guys went out there and protest against crazy stuff that's happening in the country about a guy called Hadush Kabatu. Remember him? Came in the country, sexually assaulted a young girl.
Yeah.
He's been in prison for 12 months. That's crazy. 12 months. Now, of course, people protest to get that happen. They protest hard to make sure that he's jailed, to make sure that the hotel is closed. And yeah, there was some win from the pink lady, from the mothers, the aunties, the sisters, the brothers, the uncles, the cousins who turned up in their numbers and they demonstrated peacefully. And the hotel was, they took the government to court and the government did their fighting and brought it back up. But that was a good win. That was a good way of saying, hey, the people have the strength.
That's right.
Now, the people who protest, 3 of them have been charged and you'd be surprised how long they got in sentence for. Like, so the perpetrator gets 12 months. The people who protest after the incident, they get 2 to 3 years. How does that make sense? Like, it's insane where we are today.
We're in trouble. We're actually in, and I'm not even sensationalizing it. We're just in trouble. There's something
we are in big trouble.
Wrong. We've got something gone wildly wrong here with our justice system, with our politicians, with the government, with the police. the contract for the public's broken. The trust for the public's broken between police
Fully.
and.
It's fully broken because
Yeah, I really do. I think so, I think always throughout any generation, my parents' generation, my grandparents' generation, they always knew that the police were there to protect them and would do the right thing around them. I don't think we know that anymore. I think we're questioning that now, and that's worrying for me.
nobody trusts the police anymore. To be fair,
Yeah,
and
or
that's
the justice system. Yeah. Mhm.
and that's the big trouble. Because we should rely on the police on every single thing that happens in our life. Something so you get a wrong knock. It's 11 o'clock in the morning. It's 11 o'clock at night. Somebody knocks on your door. The first thing you think of is like, hey, am I expecting a guest? No. You check through the window. You see a couple guys. You're like, wait, am I expecting them? No. Did I order something? No. Why they're there? I don't know. All right. What's the first thing you do? You call the police. If we can't trust the police, then we are in trouble. We are in big trouble. I mean, we should trust the police. Why? Because they matter a lot. They keep us safe. That's their job. And also they make sure the government have a meaning. Because without the police, whatever the government say or do or pass is worthless because you need somebody to enforce it. They are policy enforcers. They need to enforce the policy. Like, hey, this, all right, we're going to enforce it. The police is all right. This, oh, police is all right. But if the police is out there to arrest the people who are fighting the injustice, I mean, what?
Yeah, I know.
Makes no sense.
I know.
Yeah, it's been a blast. 1 hour and 20 minutes with you, Nathan. It's been fun. It's gone
Excellent.
fast.
I've enjoyed it.
It goes so fast, right? It goes so fast.
know.
I would like to have you on again. Let's make it a regular thing. I would
Let's
like
do that.
to have you on again. Next time we'll have everything prepared. I'll make sure I don't do 3 hours live, 3 hour podcast before our live stream because my head.
That's all right. Don't worry about it.
Because
Don't worry.
in this room we have so many lights. Like, if you drop a pin, you'll find it. We have this light, which is you can't literally stare at it. Like, if you look at it for like a few seconds, your eyes will just be blind for a bit. So, and I've been sick for 7 days, I think, since Thursday. It's coming up to 7 days. Since Thursday last week, I've been really sick. My head hurts really bad. I had to take paracetamol. Literally, this is how sick I am. The paracetamol is right there. That's how sick I am. I'm drinking all this tea and stuff. Not because I'm cold or anything. No, because I need
nothing back to health.
Yeah, I'm putting all these stuff in. They say, hey, drink it as a tea, so then it makes you feel better along the way through the day. And it's not like too much on your body. So I drink it. But I am feeling a little bit better.
Good.
Better than yesterday for sure. But we should do this again. It's been a blast having you on. I mean, where can the people find you? Where can the people find you, Nathan?
Find me on TikTok. I am Nathan King BB. On Twitter, I think I'm just Nathan King. And then I'm on Instagram as well. I mainly post between... I'm actually posting all three. Mainly on TikTok, though. But I'm not being censored and posts taken down for being too controversial. That's the problem.
Yeah, TikTok is really...
Hard one.
We have
to negotiate.
We have over 100,000 subscribers on TikTok.
Excellent. Good.
But it's worthless because they demonetize us and it makes no sense to post there. But just to keep the account active, it's better not to post. That's literally where we are right now. If you want to keep your account, don't post.
I get that.
I know if I post, the amount of restrictions we get is like, banned for 12 months, banned for 3 months, banned for 1 month, banned for this, so it's like, what's the point? Stop it. But
exactly.
we're probably going to be
hopefully
back
maybe
there.
Trump will do something about it. I don't know. We'll see.
Oh, hopefully Trump will do something about it. I really do. But he's going to do something about it for the Americans, and hopefully hopefully our government do something for the British people. I hope.
Exactly.
I hope.
Yeah.
But yeah, we are on Rumble right now. I'm just checking the chat, sorry. Yeah, so if you like what we do here and you want to support us on Rumble, if you want to watch the stream, but you want to watch it on Rumble, we are live on Rumble right now. We're live on Rumble, Facebook, X, and YouTube at the same time. So we are live on all these platforms. So Pick which one you like. We're going to be there. Thank you so much, Nathan, for coming on. And thank
for
you
having me.
all of
Enjoyed
you
it.
guys who have been watching. I'll be live tomorrow, hopefully with Nathan. Tomorrow, Thursday. Oh, God. We'll see. We'll see. Hopefully I'm live, but we'll see. But without further ado, thank you so much, guys. Hand to the head. Salute. Bye-bye, bye-bye, bye-bye.
Cheers. Thank you.
To every single one of you who has walked this road with us. Not just the easy win, but the tough, heavy storm. I want to reach out my hand to you, sir, and say thank you so much. Thank you so much, missus, because you didn't just fund a platform. You didn't just support creator. You stood for something sacred, something real. The idea that truth should never be owned by the politicians, by the elites. So thank you so much. Because we're living in a world where headlines are shaped by propagandas. We're living in a world where narratives are created by a politician's agenda. So staying true and telling you the honest truth isn't just hard anymore. It's becoming radical. And we've never taken a penny from any corporation or political party, because we understand that journalism should never be funded by the elites, should never be funded by politicians. Journalists should only be accountable to the people they serve, not the people that they meant to question. But staying independent comes with a lot of cost. It means no more access, no access to fancy meetings, no access to big donors. So we're choosing integrity. We're choosing morals, and we're choosing to put stories in front. And trust me, that's a cost I'm willing to take. That's why we need you, not just as donors, but as people, as defender of truth. As people that believe that truth isn't a luxury, it's a right. It's a right that every single person in the country deserves to get. And if you've been watching the mainstream media lately, I'm sure you've felt a quiet rage when you see a story being told in a different way, when you see the truth being twisted, when you see suffering being ignored, when you see the powerful few rewrite history and take over narrative and rewrite reality. And now this is the moment that stops. Every single contribution that you make to this channel is a refusal to be manipulated. It's a stand against distortion. And if you believe that journalism should be factual, if you believe that journalism should be unbiased, then this is your time for you to stand with us. Donate right now and build this movement with us. Be the reason why the truth survives in this country. Thank you so much.